Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that your company doesn't need 100 employees anymore. It needs 20 people, and an AI system. This isn't science fiction. In 2026, some of the world's biggest companies are cutting jobs while simultaneously pouring enormous amounts of money into artificial intelligence. Amazon confirmed about 16,000 corporate job cuts in January, while continuing to push investment toward AI and cloud infrastructure. And the strange part is this: these companies aren't necessarily trying to become smaller. They're trying to become more powerful with fewer humans. So who is actually winning this AI revolution? And if AI is replacing workers, where are all those billions going? This is the story of how artificial intelligence could become one of the biggest business transformations in history. Welcome to Zero to Billion. For decades, the biggest companies in the world built their empires by hiring more people. More customers meant more employees. More products meant more factories. More revenue meant bigger offices and larger teams. But AI is changing that equation. A company can now use software to write documents, analyze data, answer customers, generate code, create marketing material, automate administrative tasks, and increasingly operate complex workflows. That means one employee with the right AI tools can potentially do work that once required an entire team. And for a corporation generating billions of dollars in revenue, even a small increase in productivity can be worth hundreds of millions. That is why the AI race isn't simply about building the smartest chatbot. It is about changing the economics of business. If a company can produce the same output with fewer people, its costs can fall. If it can serve more customers without increasing its workforce at the same rate, its margins can rise. And if it can automate repetitive work 24 hours a day, the company gains something humans can never provide at the same scale: software that doesn't sleep, doesn't take vacations, and can be copied across millions of customers. Amazon is one of the clearest examples. In January 2026, Amazon confirmed reductions affecting approximately 16,000 roles. The company described the changes as part of a broader effort to reduce layers and bureaucracy and redirect resources toward its priorities. At the same time, Amazon has continued building its AI capabilities, including AI agents and foundation model infrastructure. In July, Amazon also cut jobs inside its artificial general intelligence organization, showing just how aggressively the company is restructuring around its AI ambitions. The important lesson isn't simply that Amazon fired people because of AI. The reality is more complicated. Companies often combine AI adoption with cost reduction, organizational restructuring, and changing business priorities. But the direction is obvious: fewer repetitive tasks, more automation, and greater investment in AI. And Amazon isn't alone. Microsoft, Meta, Oracle, Cisco, Block, and other companies have all been associated with workforce reductions or restructuring while simultaneously increasing their focus on artificial intelligence. Some companies explicitly connect AI with efficiency. Others describe their layoffs as restructuring or reallocating resources. But investors are watching the same question: can AI allow these companies to do more with less? Because that's where the real money is. Think about a company with 100,000 employees. If AI can increase productivity across a large portion of that workforce, the company doesn't necessarily need to replace every employee. It can simply stop hiring as many new people. It can automate certain tasks. It can reduce management layers. It can move employees into higher value roles. Over time, the workforce can grow much more slowly than the business itself. And that's a very different kind of job disruption. The first people affected may not be the most experienced specialists. They may be workers performing repetitive digital tasks, basic customer support, simple content production, routine data processing, entry-level analysis, basic coding, administrative work, and other activities that can increasingly be assisted or automated by software. But here's where the story gets even more interesting. AI isn't only replacing tasks. It's also creating an entirely new demand for people who know how to build, manage, secure, and integrate AI systems. Companies need AI engineers, data scientists, infrastructure specialists, cybersecurity experts, product managers, AI researchers, and people who understand how to use AI inside real businesses. So the future may not be humans versus AI. It may be humans using AI versus humans who don't. Imagine two employees doing the same job. One spends 8 hours manually completing repetitive work. The other uses AI to automate half the process, checks the results, improves the system, and uses the saved time to handle higher value problems. The second employee can potentially become dramatically more productive. That creates a brutal economic incentive. Companies don't necessarily have to ask, can AI replace this person? They can ask a much more powerful question. Can one person using AI do the work of 3 people? If the answer becomes yes, the economics of hiring change completely. And this is why the biggest AI winners may not actually be the companies making chatbots. They may be the companies selling the infrastructure behind them. AI requires enormous amounts of computing power. It needs chips, servers, data centers, networking equipment, electricity, cooling systems, cloud platforms, and specialized software. Every time AI becomes more powerful, the infrastructure underneath it becomes more valuable. That's why companies across the technology ecosystem are racing to spend enormous amounts of money on AI infrastructure. Current estimates put global AI-related spending at extraordinary levels, while companies such as Amazon, Microsoft, Alphabet, and Meta continue investing heavily in data centers and computing capacity. Yet there is a fascinating contradiction. Despite all this spending, the exact profitability of AI remains difficult to measure because companies don't always disclose how much revenue and profit comes specifically from AI. And that creates the biggest question in the entire AI boom. What if companies are spending hundreds of billions before they fully know how much money AI will actually make? The technology giants are betting that the answer will eventually be enormous. They believe AI can transform cloud computing, advertising, search, software, e-commerce, customer service, productivity, cybersecurity, entertainment, healthcare, finance, and almost every information-based industry. But there is another side to the story. AI could increase productivity without automatically making everyone richer. If companies become more productive, shareholders can benefit. Customers may receive cheaper or better products. Businesses may grow faster. But workers whose tasks become less valuable could face intense pressure to adapt. And that's why the AI revolution isn't just a technology story. It's a money story. It's a power story. And it's a labor story. The companies that master AI could potentially operate with leaner organizations, faster decision-making, and lower costs. The companies that fail to adapt could find themselves paying more for work that competitors are accomplishing with automation. But there's an important warning here. AI isn't magically replacing every human worker. Current evidence does not show that the entire labor market has suddenly been eliminated by AI. In fact, economists continue to debate how much of today's layoffs are directly caused by AI versus ordinary restructuring, cost-cutting, or changing economic conditions. Some companies have used AI as a reason for layoffs, while others are simply reorganizing their businesses. The bigger transformation may happen gradually rather than overnight. The real danger isn't that every job disappears tomorrow. It's that the definition of a valuable job changes. The employee who only knows how to perform a repetitive process may become vulnerable. The employee who understands the process, knows how to use AI, checks its output, solves unexpected problems, and creates new systems may become even more valuable. That distinction could define the next decade. And there is another fascinating possibility. AI may actually create smaller companies capable of competing with giants. Imagine a startup with 10 highly skilled employees using AI agents to perform work that previously required a 100-person organization. Suddenly, the barrier to entering a market becomes lower. A tiny company could design software, create marketing campaigns, analyze customers, automate support, and operate globally with a fraction of the traditional workforce. That could produce a new generation of billion-dollar companies. And this is where the zero to billion story becomes really interesting. Every major technological revolution creates winners and losers. The internet destroyed some business models but created Google, Amazon, Facebook, and thousands of other companies. Smartphones destroyed entire industries while creating enormous new markets. AI could do the same thing. The question isn't whether AI will change business. It already is. The question is who will capture the value. Will it be the companies building the models? The companies manufacturing the chips? The cloud providers building the infrastructure. The startups using AI to attack traditional industries. Or the businesses that learn how to combine humans and AI better than everyone else. The biggest winners may not be the companies that eliminate the most jobs. They may be the companies that figure out how to multiply human productivity. Because the ultimate business advantage isn't simply having AI. It's knowing what to do with it. And that is why the AI revolution could create an uncomfortable paradox. Millions of workers are worried that AI will take their jobs. At the same time, companies are spending billions because they believe AI can make them dramatically more productive. The same technology can create wealth and destroy old forms of work at the same time. And we're still at the beginning. The companies building AI today aren't just trying to sell another piece of software. They're trying to control the infrastructure, platforms, data, distribution, and productivity systems of the next generation of business. If they succeed, AI won't simply be another technology. It could become the operating system of the global economy. And the biggest question isn't, will AI take your job? The bigger question is, will you learn how to work with AI before someone else does? This is 0 to Billion. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the business, money, and power behind the AI revolution, make sure to like the video, subscribe to 0 to Billion, and turn on notifications. Because the next $1 billion story may already be happening, and you might not see it coming.